both matches, 15 kills, 10 digs in the first match against Maryland, and 29 kills and 14 digs. The 29 kills set the school record for the most kills in a 4-set match, and this is a storied program. That's a huge mark for Tori Hester.
So watch these two outside hitters, Hester for Troy, Robinson for LSU. The Tigers are in gold tops and Troy in maroon, and we are underway. This will be the last match of the tournament. Troy comes in with 1 win and 1 loss. A 3-0 loss to Maryland, but a victory over New Hampshire in 4 sets. LSU is 2 up and none down with the wins over New Hampshire and Maryland. Maryland finishes the weekend at 1-2. So does New Hampshire. Troy with the first couple of points. This team is coming off a very fine Sun Belt Conference schedule a year ago. 12 wins and 4 losses. That's the most wins in Sun Belt Conference play that Troy has ever had.
And this program under Josh Lauer they are a solid team. They're difficult to beat. They like to extend rallies. They're going to keep the ball off the floor with great defensive plays and force LSU to take multiple swings. LSU has to stay patient, not push too hard, and not error themselves out.
The first 3 points have gone to the Trojans. And Robinson gets on the board first for LSU. There's Josh Lauer in his 8th season as Troy head coach, and he has steadily built this program. They play a tremendously difficult schedule outside of conference, and yet he's 108 and 100. Anything over 500 with the schedule they play out of the Sun Belt Conference is really good.
Yeah, they understand this conference is typically, not all the time, but a one bid conference, and that goes to the conference champion in the tournament. And so he challenges his team with great competition in preseason and gets them ready for conference and makes them run.
Their next game is Tuesday at Auburn.
Yeah, and you know, he's not afraid to play anybody. He is a great trainer, a great coach. You see Jade Demps getting the start on the right side and already fairly effective for the Tigers.
There's Demps with the dink, but it's easily defended.
Nice cross-court scoring swing by Demps.
Tanya Johnson is in her 3rd season. This is her dream job. She's been really good as an assistant coach before accepting the head coaching position here a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Tanya, a true Tiger, an alumni, led the 1990 team to the first Final Four in school history, and left her mark as a player, and will certainly do that as a coach.
Troy scored the first 3 points. LSU countered that run, and now Troy is back up 4-3.
And you see the offense already kind of going away from Journey. They're setting Jade Demps on the right side, even out of system, which is an interesting twist to the LSU offense, trying to take a little pressure off of Journey, not having to take so many swings. And Demps has been very successful hitting 2-2 cross court for her 3rd kill of this first set.
Yesterday, of course, was very, very special for Journey Robinson. 53 kills in 2 matches. To illustrate the dominance that she had with her own team, the next leading kill producer was Angie Lee with 18. So 53 from Robinson, a huge number. And 18, the 2nd leading scorer yesterday for LSU.
Yeah, and Journey absolutely put this team on her shoulders yesterday and willed them to both victories.
And they needed her. They were very competitive matches.
They had to have her. The question for LSU in the offense is who will go with her? Who can put up some numbers? We talked about it yesterday. We saw, just as you illustrated, nobody else is really scoring points offensively. And the expectation is their middles will score, and we see them forcing Demps on the right side. I think that's the game plan from the LSU staff. Try to get Demps involved in the offense early and often.
Well, Lee responds, or excuse me,
Jones.
Yes, it was Jones in the middle to tie it at 5.
Jones really had a great opening day in the purple and gold for the first time. Nothing flashy, but just solid. Did her job, took care of her assignments. You're not going to notice her on the stat sheet as much, but you're going to notice that she does her job and she creates for people around her. She makes everybody better around her.
She's a 6'2" freshman middle blocker from Frisco, Texas. There's the finish from the left side by the newcomer, Ona Tebdarasi, from the country of Georgia.
And she has a great arm. Yesterday did a great job in both matches of ball control, passing, and defense. Was not as high efficiency offensively as Coach Johnson would like her to be. Hopeful to get her on track today.
Troy has come out and played with some vigor here in the first set against LSU and leads it.
Well, you see Amaya Butler on the right side. She really had a good day yesterday. She was second on the team behind Hester in efficiency and points scored. And she's a go-to for them as well. A veteran player, physical, and she gets the ball to the floor quickly.
Butler has 4 kills already. Hester has 2. And Troy has come out with accuracy, Fran, hitting at better than .450 right now. There is Lee, Angie Lee. She is said to be the most improved Tiger.
Absolutely, but you have to credit Bailey Ortega with that. She's a jump set in the middle, drew the left side blocker in. Angie Lee going behind on the slide, 1-on-none, able to kill the ball. Great job by Bailey Ortega, the LSU setter.
Both teams scored 3 in a row to open the set, and since then it's been side outs with 5 ties. There's rejection at the net. LSU with the block. And the lead now, 8-7.
LSU is doing a good job of staying patient, exploding, pressing low and over, not getting too high. Really good discipline, 4 hands together on the block.
Lee and Demps with those 4 hands coming up.
And no surprise, they're going to find Hester when they need a swing out of the back row.
Wouldn't you?
Absolutely, just as LSU is going to find Robinson.
By the way, speaking of blocks, Angie Lee led the way yesterday with 12 blocks over the course of the 2 matches.
And that's one of the areas she's really improved on. Blocking is really difficult. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of discipline and really a lot of studying with your eyes. And she's worked real hard to develop that.
That's well done. A sneaky little shot.
Yeah, Troy's going to pick off points from wherever they can grab points. And that's a great job by their setter. Keeping her hands high, being both hands together last second, throwing it down for the dump. Nice deception with her hand position.
Janelle Stumpfig with the point, the junior from Wisconsin. That's Demps. And it works out for the Tigers.
And that's the play that LSU loves to run. Brings in rotation 1, they bring Dips into the middle. She's stacked into the left front position and not her best swing to hit on the left side, so they run her to the middle up and down ball, and she's very successful in that set.
But they have been purposeful early in getting the ball to Demps in firing position, and she's responded with 4 kills.
And you see on the other side, it's a battle of right sides. We predicted it was going to be a battle of outsides with Hester and Robinson, but it's really been Butler and Demps that are getting all the swings for both sides.
That last kill was the 5th for Butler. Hester has 3.
I think both coaches understand that their 2 outsides took a lot of swings yesterday. Got to spread the wealth a little bit.
Angie Lee, who's a very good student, a mechanical engineering student, and rarely makes anything, if ever, under an A. Troy 11, LSU 10. There's Tanya Johnson looking on. You know, she's got that stoic expression. The Tigers could be up by 10 or down by 10. That's going to be the same look.
Yeah, and the consistency in that is what her team loves. You know, she's never going to get too high or too low. She's just going to give them a chance. What a great swing by Jade Demps.
How about Demps blasting that one? She's off and running with 5 kills.
Yeah, and the LSU has to have Jade Demps on the right side or some presence. It's something that they were missing, and she has shown up this morning. Hester going high off the hands, tooling the block. It's Hester versus Robinson.
Hester is a 5'10" senior from Salisbury, North Carolina. LSU and Troy whacking the volleyball with really, really nice hitting percentages, both teams. And give credit to the setters for both teams for enabling that to happen.
Yeah, and the passing is there. Even on the out-of-system swings, though, the attackers are getting nice high swings and able to terminate.
Troy is hitting 500. Yeah, that's really good. LSU is even better than that.
The kill efficiency is super high.
556 hitting percentage right now for LSU and 500 for Troy. This pace will not continue, I promise you, but right now you are seeing some really efficient, hard-knock volleyball.
Yeah, efficient offense. It's really fun to watch. Not a lot of rallies. You would look for that to settle in as the match continues.
Journey Robinson had 6 aces yesterday in addition to her career best kill totals. She had 6 of the 17 aces that LSU turned in.
Yeah, this is a much better serving LSU team. Journey Robinson, a big reason for that.
And we go to our 11th tie already. We've only had 26 points, 13 apiece, 11 ties. No separation at all so far in the first set.
Yeah, this is how the game's supposed to be played. You side out back and forth, and you get close to the end, and somebody makes a run.
LSU lets it go, and it's long. 14-13 Tigers. This has been a superbly efficient offensive show for both teams. LSU does have 3 blocks, none for Troy.
Yeah, the blocking presence of LSU in front of these smaller Troy hitters is affecting them a bit, but they're still efficient.
Robinson misses from the back row.
Yeah, difficult angle.
I thought Ortega might go somewhere else with that set.
Yeah, the decision to give the ball to her in from that location is a difficult angle for her.
$14 apiece. We'll have a timeout after the next point. Troy serving. Sarah Bates, a junior from Cincinnati. Both teams are at a 71% side-out percentage. That's incredible. Lee gives LSU the lead at the break, 15-14. We'll come back in a moment. We've got a hot one going here in the first set. LSU 15, Troy 14. LSU breaks the huddle with a 15-14 lead over Troy out of the Sun Belt Conference. And as you look at that group, Fran, right at half of the roster is so young. Look at all the freshmen and transfers.
It's an incredibly young team, 7 true freshmen on this group, and then you add the 3 and a great flow.
Bailey Ortega at the service line, waiting for approval to go. That's G-E-A-U-X, by the way. That's a pretty good swing from Olivia Kwiatkowski.
She goes high, hands deep off the court. Journey Robinson trying to reach up there, was a little bit sucked into the middle of the court, unable to come up with a positive touch. Good swing.
Right now, 13 ties, the latest one at 15-0. And the biggest lead for both teams is 1. That's how tight this first set has been played.
Yeah, and this is great experience at this early in the season. First weekend, you're having a point-for-point, side-out-for-side-out match. These reps will go a long way in the future for both teams.
Kwiatkowski serving. Let's see if Troy can take the first 2-point lead. That appeared to be in, and they rule it in.
Well, they call a touch off the block.
Yeah,
so
I think it might have been out, but they did call the touch. And for the first time, there is a 2-point lead.
Coach Johnson pretty quick to call that timeout. Try and stop the momentum. She knows how quickly these situations can get out of hand.
We talked about it a little bit yesterday, Fran, but there are 2 major rule changes that are affecting college volleyball today, and let's talk about first the double touch that's basically been eliminated.
It has on your side. You know, as fans, we all scream, call the double, call the touch, all that stuff, and they've taken that judgment out of the officials' hands, and if the ball stays on your side, you can touch it multiple times and it not be ruled a foul and a point for the other team. However, it cannot carry across the net. So on the third contact or second contact, if you shoot the ball over and it's a double, then it will be called in that scenario.
And then the second major thing that you may notice this year is a very much of a liberalization on the libero rule in terms of substitutions. It's pretty much wide open right now.
It is. You know, previously you had to designate 1 libero for each set. You write it down on your lineup sheet and turn it in before each set begins. And they are. And
that's the one you stayed with.
And that's one you had to stay with. It was the 1. But now you can have 2 in uniform and interchange them at will.
So every point, if you wished, you could change the libero.
You absolutely could. And we've seen that a little bit this weekend. A serve received to a defensive libero, or somebody just losing a rhythm or connectivity and make a change, give the opposing team a different serving target. All of those things are great strategies.
Kwiatkowski with an effective serve. Here's Demps.
We had a sub on the LSU side. Lainey Piles comes in.
That's the point to Troy. And Troy right now, for the first time, has a 3-point lead. LSU really wants to draw a line in the sand right now to prevent Troy from extending a 3-point lead. Troy started with a 3-0 run. LSU tied it, and of course there have been a lot of ties since then.
Yeah, and what we're seeing here is the official initially thought there was a touch call, and there wasn't. So she gave the ball to Troy, and now Troy is going to challenge that there was a touch on that play.
Joseph Gustafson, the referee right there. Michelle Prater is referee number 1.
The original call on the court is out of bounds on Troy. They are challenging the ball was touched.
I'm not going to be surprised. Angie Lee's response on this looked like maybe she got a finger, but difficult to see.
Very difficult
to see. The micro touches are hard to see, so see what ruling. You know, they're able to really zoom in on this new system and get a closer look, and they'll be able to get the call correct.
The new system is the Hawkeye review system. Each team has 2 challenges. If a call is reversed, the challenge is retained. If it's upheld, the challenge is lost. And in the 5th set, each team receives an extra challenge, but you cannot exceed 2 in that 5th set.
Yeah, so if you haven't used your 2, you don't gain 1, but if you have, you can gain 1.
There are 12 visual points on this new Hawkeye system, plus the cameras that we're using on our SEC ESPN network telecast. So a lot more options to take a look at replays, and those little devices are everywhere all over the court right now.
Yeah, it's a great system. It gives you different angles, and the official can pull up different cameras to see different contact points, and it allows for officials to be really thorough with the review system.
There's another one of those sneaky cameras.
And people may be concerned that they're on the side of the court. They are away from the bench and on the sideline.
The call on the court is reversed. There was a touch on LSU. Troy gets the point.
So Troy successfully challenges. There was a touch by LSU.
And you see Angie Lee, it hasn't been announced in the building yet, but you see Angie Lee looking a little bit guilty, if you will, knowing that she probably did touch that ball. Jade Demps came down very emphatically that she did not touch that ball.
Well, Troy has the longest run of the game right now at 4-0 and has moved to an 18-15 lead. This is a must-stop right now for LSU opportunity.
Troy's in a great rotation with Tori Hester in left front.
And Kuya Tukowski serving, and she's been an effective server.
She has. This rotation is a positive rotation for Troy.
How about that defensive work on the blast by Robinson?
And you know, it's going to take Robinson a little bit of a flow to get going. Took her a little bit to get started yesterday, even though she put up those numbers. They were higher numbers later in the sets. Great block touch. Angie Lee slowing that attack down.
Point LSU.
Really nice job, Laney Piles and Angie Lee setting up in front of Hester, knowing the ball's going out to her, ahead of the play, over early and low, able to terminate.
That's the fourth block for the Tigers. And it came at a good time for the home team to stop that run. 19-16 Troy. First set. What a blast. Well done by Tori Hester. She did it 29 times in a 4-set victory yesterday.
And Hester at this point is 7 kills, 1 error on 12 swings, hitting 500. Taken up just where she left off yesterday.
Troy again rising at the net with blocking hands.
Yeah, Coach Johnson not happy with that choice of Ortega to force the middle in that small side of the court.
That was Sydney Austin who rejected the shot. Troy is getting it done time after time now at the net in the last few seconds. And LSU takes a timeout, 22-16. Remember, this was a very tight game, but not so much now. An 8-1 run for Troy, Fran, and a 22-16 advantage right now. This team has come to take it to the Tigers in the first set.
Yeah, we talked about LSU's blocking throughout this first set, and all of a sudden, late, Troy's blocking is really affecting the LSU offense. Have to put LSU hitters in a better spot. First and second contact need to improve a little bit, and decisions need to be a little bit better.
Troy was 2 matches over 500 last year overall, and a really good Sun Belt Conference record of 12-4. That's the most conference wins they have had. They finished second in the Western Division. They were second in the Sun Belt Conference in kills per set a year ago. And Tori Hester, a remarkable 6.29.
She was efficient doing it. I mean, you can't say enough about the load that Tori Hester carries for this team. She passes. LSU's really serving her and going after her with first contact, making her pass and attack to see if they can wear her out a little bit.
Earlier in this set, it was Butler providing the kills, and she's got 6 of them. But now Tori Hester has the team lead with 7.
Yeah, and Journey Robinson hasn't gotten on track, and we talked about it. Who was going to go with Journey? But Journey Journey can't disappear on them. She's going to have to get her. She doesn't have to do what she did yesterday, but she's got to carry a load for the Tigers every match.
Demps and Lee are the two leading kill producers with 5 and 3 respectively. There's Journey Robinson.
And they moved her inside. They ran a little bit different tempo, a little faster inside, 32 or 6 or rip, or everybody calls it something different, and that gives her a chance to not have to wait, get her in rhythm, get her hand on the ball, and let her finish the ball to have a better feel for her offense.
But there's a lot of work to be done by LSU, and there's an ace. That's the first ace after 17 of them yesterday in those two matches.
Troy doesn't give up many aces. They're a great ball control team. They handle the first contact. You might get them out of system, but you're not going to score a ton of balls on, ton of aces on Troy.
Tori Hester could not get it by the LSU blockers.
And that's really good job. Demps setting the block and Jones closing, certainly keying on Hester to know that she's going to be the one that Troy's going to go to late.
Jessica Jones providing double team defensive help. And Troy will take a timeout as LSU is showing a spark. Still work to be done, though, with a 22-19 disadvantage in the first set. Yesterday, or excuse me, last year, LSU was 11 and 17 overall, 6 and 12 in the conference, finishing 9th. They were in the middle of the pack in aces per set at nearly 1.5. And Journey Robinson, of course, tailed off just a little.
In the SEC in kills per set. Shows everybody knew what Journey could do, and then we got a glimpse of the improvement from last year to this. And now you're seeing a little bit, you're seeing Demps, Angie Lee starting to get on track. They got to get their other outside, either Testaraza or Piles, to get going, and they'll be rolling.
It wasn't long ago that LSU was hitting above 500. It's down to 241 right now. Yesterday against New Hampshire, the Tigers hit at a 235 clip, and in 4 sets defeating Maryland, they hit 194.
And Troy hitting 400 with 15 kills. Super efficient offensively.
And a 3-point lead right now. Demps thought she had that one down, but it was saved by Troy.
Now Hester kicked that ball in the air.
Now Demps takes care of business, and here come the Tigers.
Now this is the best thing we could possibly see from the LSU side is Jade Demps getting going. No errors. She got 6 kills on 13 swings. This is a really, really good sign for the Tigers.
And a 4-0 run for LSU. There's that big swing by Tori Hester.
And this rotation, Troy's top 2 kill scorers or point scorers are on the front row together. So LSU will have to stay home. Hester and Butler both putting up big numbers offensively in this set so far.
Hester lately, she's got 8 now, 8 kills.
And Butler's 6, 0 errors, 6 kills on 6 swings, 0 errors.
Jordan Sennis puts it in play. She was at Auburn last year.
And that's the type of swing that you expect from Journey Robinson when she's free and flowing. Really nice job of the LSU coaching staff or Bailey Ortega, I don't know who made that play call, to bring her inside and let her finish assertively.
And in the middle, she had a lot of choices, didn't she?
She does.
That's a little bit long. The service error gives Troy a set point.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate error, but you got to go for it. Got to serve tough. Can't let them stay in system with their 2 best offensive attackers on the front row. Have to get them out of system.
Hester, who has the high toss, puts it in play. Set point, Troy. 24-21. There it is, Troy with Quia Tukowski finishing, wins the first set, 25-21. The Trojans out of the Sun Belt Conference hitting an incredible .414 against LSU, takes care of business with a first set victory. We'll be back with the second set in just a moment here on the SEC ESPN Network.
Sorry, honey, it's a work thing.
Mine's also a work thing. I just need someone to cover my shift.
So is mine. Alan says your business vehicle is now covered with Progressive.
Protected 24/7, just like your home and auto.
Oh, that's great.
So dinner time's just phone time now?
Sorry. You know, I heard that
Hester, she wears number 10 in maroon, setting a school record with 29 kills in a 4-set match. And Tori Hester off to a wonderful start in the first set against LSU as well.
She really is, and she just plays the game calmly. She's confident. She attacks the block. She sees the seam. She gets the ball to the floor fast if she has the opportunity. She hits deep. She has an arsenal of shots. She throws it over the top. She is really, really a great balanced volleyball player. 8 kills, hitting .400 so far, and we knew they had to rely on her. We just didn't know she was going to be this efficient again tonight after what she was able to do yesterday.
Troy had 17 kills in the first set. Hester and Butler combined for 14 of those 17. Butler chipped in with 6 early to help Hester, who got rolling late in that set.
Yeah, and LSU not able to kill enough balls, but the difference is LSU with only 5 digs in the first set to Troy's 13. That's the differentiating factor.
Ona Tebdorazis serving for LSU as we get started in set number 2. Hester with the push, and there's another point.
And she has such great vision. If you aren't sealed over tight, she has enough vision to throw that ball into your hands, and that's an awfully difficult play to make. If you're not sealed tight, somebody throws the ball in your hands.
She's been at Troy the entire time in her career out of Salisbury, North Carolina. And LSU rolls one in.
And Demps is just playing a really nice match. You know, just as LSU had to have somebody go with Journey yesterday, Demps, 7 kills on 13 swings. She's doing a great job. Somebody needs to go with her today.
That is long. It's out. That's 4 service errors now for the Tigers. That's off the defender and point Troy. Watch how high Hester throws this ball on her service and then gets a lot of topspin on it. It's pretty impressive. Watch the height on this throw and the run up.
Nice coverage.
Did that get down? I think it did.
As a net.
Was it a net?
Troy was in the net.
It was Mesa making a nice dig. I thought for a moment it might have gotten down on the court, but it was a net violation.
Yeah, the blockers came over, pressed a little hard.
Oh, yeah.
Got it on the press.
Don't you love that net cam?
Yeah, it's great. Troy challenging the freshman middle, going right at her. See if she can hold her own, and Jones not able to get her feet in front of the attacker, so reaching and then got exploited because her hands weren't over.
4-2 Troy. There's been no letdown in the second set for the Trojans.
Oh, and I talked to Coach Lowry yesterday after their matches, and he said, you know, we have to live on the edge. We just have to go for it offensively. And some days it's going to go in our direction, and some days it won't. We'll be high error, but when we're not higher, we'll be really good, and we're seeing that today.
He was an assistant coach at Alabama, was he not?
Long ago, he was an assistant, and he's really helped a lot of programs improve. And left his mark every place he's gone. Ball's off the antenna, out of bounds on the swing, point LSU.
Robinson serving. LSU has scored 2 straight points to tie it at 4. LSU with Piles and Jones closing it off at the net.
That's a great job of Piles. The 2 freshmen, Piles and Jones, next to each other. We'll see that for 3 more years after this. Pressed over, that's a big physical block.
3 straight points for LSU for a 5-4 lead. That was off a defender.
That's a great shot to the corner. That's an improvement in Journey's game. She would have tried to rip that ball straight down. Instead, she hit a flat, deep ball, able to score.
5 kills now for Robinson. That missed. It was long. Off the hands of Jessica Jones.
So the challenge may be Johnson deciding whether she's going to challenge the touch. Bailey Ortega was very, very adamant that 6 touched the ball. We'll see what the replay shows.
That would be Quia Tukowski. If indeed she did violate it.
The original call on the court is out LSU, point Troy. LSU is challenging. There was a touch on the blockers.
Watch number 6. Challenging at the net.
Might have gotten her left middle finger on her left hand. We'll see. It's awfully close.
I'm not so sure about that angle. It looks like maybe. I think the call's going to stand. But again, there are so many more options to take review looks this year with this Hawkeye system, which the entire SEC is using.
Yeah, as we said before, the Hawkeye system is a great addition to the Southeastern Conference volleyball
and many other sports.
Absolutely. We're all human. Officials
There's no touch on the ball. The call is confirmed. Point Troy.
I love the fact that that microphone is patched into our broadcast as well. It certainly gives everybody at home or wherever they may be viewing this match and others an inside advantage, if you will. Again, Fran, and I never fail to mention this, I just wish that were over the PA system as well, so the fans here would know exactly what was rendered.
Yeah, it's awfully hard for the people in the stands to know exactly what's happening, and I would agree with you, Len.
That's a first.
Oh, come on, Len. Come on, Len.
At least today.
Maybe today.
7-5 Tigers. Remy Nuss has been a serve specialist so far. Oh, well done. Nice dink. Open court. And she found it. She being Ella Broadhead.
Yeah, Broadhead hasn't had too many swings. Second swing of the, or maybe third swing of the match, and able to execute. So, no question, LSU probably not ready for that. Hadn't really been forced, and a little bit of an out-of-system opportunity, but good choice by the choice setter.
Caroline Derricott serving.
just as you see LSU serving Hester when she's back row, Troy is going after Journey and trying to wear her out. Both of them carried such a load with 2 matches, the 3rd match in 2 days. It's a tremendous physical and mental burden to handle all of that. We'll see who can handle it and who can't early in the season.
7 apiece. Piles puts it down from the left pin, cross court deep.
It's a great shot deep into the corner, behind the defense. So many players want to rip that ball straight down, but hit a deep, flat ball behind the defense. Really difficult to defend that swing.
That's her first kill. The freshman from Keller, Texas. Eight apiece now. Second set, Troy won the first one. Maryland beat Troy in straight sets. And then Troy in 4 sets defeated New Hampshire. New Hampshire got a win over Maryland in a match that preceded this one. LSU is the only undefeated team in this tournament so far. Troy is 1-1. Maryland closed it out at 1-2. So did New Hampshire. The Tigers are 2-0.
And the opponents here this weekend are by design, teams that are going to fare well in their individual conferences and win a lot of matches. So you would expect some interesting results from a tournament like this, and we've seen.
Robinson could not get it past the rise of defenders. 9 each.
And Journey just not quite contacting the ball as high as she was yesterday. Understandable, but she can get her arm up a little higher and finish. She'll exploit the top of the block rather than hitting it down into the tape.
That's long from Demps.
Yeah, and you like the aggressive swing by Demps. She's feeling really good in a nice rhythm, gets a nice high out-of-system swing, and unfortunate it's a little long.
7 kills for Demps, but not a lot of them lately. There's Lee from the middle. She scores, and then she's replaced by Jessica Jones.
Yep, high swing, again, deep into the court, not trying to bury a ball straight down. Much more successful.
How about that defensively? That one you could hear all throughout the Maravich Center.
I mean, that is just a clamp. That's a physical block.
Jessica Jones, watch number 7.
Great move over early, strong in the air.
Journey Robinson.
Better swing by Robinson. A little more assertive, chipping off the side of the block rather than going into the heart of the block. Chip the edges.
Both of these sets have been highly contested. It was about this point in the first set that Troy pulled away and was able to get enough of a lead to hold on. Right now, LSU leads 12-11. Robinson with a good choice.
Yeah, that's another shot out of her tool chest, trying not to overswing, just take the play that's available to you and score. It's a mature play by Robinson.
And the Tigers have a 2-point lead for the first time in this set. Now a 3-point lead. Robinson rising defensively.
And the physicality of LSU blocking is really taking its toll on the Troy offense. They were hitting over 400 in the first set. They're at 0 in this current set.
The lead is 3 for the Tigers. Set number 2. Once again, rejection by LSU's defense. We'll take a timeout. Robinson coming alive offensively and defensively, and the Tigers leading it 15-11 in the second set.
Oh, look at that jet stream.
Weather. Oh, boy.
Yep, they're calling it an atmospheric river. It is coming down.
Oh, flood warning, Louisiana.
Are they obsessed? Oh, yeah.
The stuff they do on the green screen, unbelievable. They said 10% chance of rain. Seems more like 40% to me.
Nope.
It has nothing to do with the dew point.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money.
Looking to tie this match at one set apiece. That's a big swing on the short set by Jessica Jones.
Great dig trans opportunity. Took advantage of Journey slowing. Once again, the effect of Journey Robinson over here on the right side, against their right side, challenging Butler, slowing the ball down, giving LSU a chance of transition scores.
Journey again, and once again, Troy just sealed it off at the net.
Yeah, and Journey would probably like that swing back instead of trying to bury it 4-on-4. They really jumped cross court on her. Probably could have gone high line over the top, but it died a little bit. Couldn't quite get her feet to it.
That ends a 4-0 run as two defenders' forehands were in perfect position.
Yeah, and any run in this match so far is a big run. Nobody's been able to get separated. Good sign for LSU.
Oh, there's some trickery in the middle. Ortega sneaking one down.
And you really have to pick your time when you're going to do that. You can't be the setter that throws every second ball over. Not going to win or lose a match, but you can pick a couple of points off and make the defense hesitate for a second to pay attention to you. Gives your hitters an advantage.
Journey Robinson had 6 aces yesterday, but that one doesn't get there.
Yeah, shortchanging herself a little bit on her toss. You see the exchange of liberos on the LSU side. You know, we talked about the rule change earlier. They can pretty much interchangeable. So Kirchhoff is more of a defensive libero. Hemmings more of a passing libero for LSU at this point in the season.
And Hemmings is in the game right now for the Tigers. 17-13. Troy trying to come back. Robinson from the middle. What a dig. Saved by Mesa. But LSU gets the point.
Yeah, just a little too physical. Nice touch in the backcourt, but couldn't corral it back into the court. Another kill for Journey.
That's 8 now. Demps has 7. Those are the 2 LSU leaders. That's back row, and it's down.
And the LSU hesitating to don't know if Coach Johnson wants to use her second challenge in this set. She lost the last one.
I'm thinking she does not.
She might have done it. I'm not sure. Yes, she's going to challenge.
Okay, we'll see.
Challenge in or out. And she probably feels pretty confident.
The original call is the ball was in point Troy. LSU is challenging the ball was out.
So in or out? The original ruling was point Troy, that it was a legal shot.
And it's going to be really close. And this is a For the Hawkeye system, this is a pretty easy review, in my opinion. I don't know. I think the alignment of the camera looks like that ball's on the line from this angle.
If it's on the line, it's in.
Yep, any piece of the ball contacts the line, the ball is considered in.
Perhaps
a pretty quick review. Here we go.
Upon review, the ball was out of bounds. The call is reverse. It's LSU's point.
Well, they had a closer look at it than we did.
Better angle than we had. But that's why they have the Hawkeye cameras in so many different locations. They have one lined up right on that line. And right there, that shows how much better this system is in review than what the SEC has had and other programs have had in the past, leagues have had in the past. Benefit of Hawkeye on that call for LSU.
So the Tigers, instead of losing the point, gain their 19th point in the second set and lead by 6. This is the biggest lead of the match for the Tigers. LSU extends its lead. You know, speaking of Hawkeye, somebody on that LSU bench must have had a Hawkeye to make that decision because that was super close. So to be able to make that decision in real speed with human eyes, that's a lot of faith.
I think they may have Ashley Shook sitting in the chair on the inline. I think typically they have one of their assistants who's lined up at that spot so that they can help with those decisions, but I'm not 100% sure.
7 points is the advantage for LSU right now in the second set after Troy claimed the first one.
And the story of the first match was the offensive efficiency that Troy had, and the story of the second is the lack of offensive efficiency in kills for Troy. So just not able to sustain a level to stay with what LSU is doing. LSU's hitting 300 for this set. Troy hitting negative 143 with 5 kills on 21 swings with 8 errors. LSU very efficient. Not a lot of kills, but they're not having to. Troy's error themselves out. So, you know, this is the fine line that Coach Lauer talked about. We have to be feast or famine. We just have to go for it because that's who we need to be. And sometimes it's going to go our ways and sometimes it's not. And right now it's not. But this will be a match of ebbs and flows, and we'll see if they can get back on track.
6 blocks by the Tigers in this set. That's been a contributing factor for sure to a 7-point lead. Troy was up and down yesterday in terms of hitting percentage. It hit only .035 against Maryland and lost all 3 sets, and improved to .258 in that 4-set victory over New Hampshire.
Yeah, and early in the season, you know, the offenses are not going to flow yet. If your offense is flowing well right now, you might need to slow them down a little bit.
That's out. LSU had 5 blocks in the first set. They've got 6 in the second. Kwiatkowski had 4 points on her serves in the first set. There she is again, Tori Hester.
Yeah, Hester's got that seam. The ball gets through there quickly.
She's got a lot of volleyball IQ, too, as she winds up the swing. She's not a one-trick pony.
No, she's got a lot of vision.
There is Angie Lee, whose dad is in attendance. 5 kills for her.
Yeah, really nice run. Bailey Ortega running the offense well, creating a spread. She feels the left side blocker's too far inside, pushes Lee past her. She's able to score down the line.
That was a nice look off and perfectly placed set. That's from the back row.
And that's a nice swing. You know, the LSU block's doing a good job. Even if they don't terminate, they're slowing the ball down at the net, contesting the swing over the top of the net, slowing the ball down for the LSU defenders to be able to make more positive contacts and get transition offense going.
Kwiatkowski now with 3 kills.
Hester went hand hunting. She went high hands, tried to get Angie Lee's left hand off the top and missed it.
And we've got a timeout at 22-16. LSU in the second set, leading by 6. Troy won't have a lot of rest. It plays on Tuesday. That's the 3rd of September. A 7 o'clock match at Auburn. And then Cal Poly comes to Troy, Alabama on the 7th of September. The conference schedule starts on September 26th and 27th as Troy will meet South Alabama. We talked about how Troy will schedule anybody that'll have them. They go to Wisconsin.
Yeah, they're not afraid. Coach Lauer's not afraid of putting his team on the court against anybody. You know, they're a very good volleyball team. They have a high volleyball IQ, and they fight you. They fight you for every point, every touch. Well coached and well prepared.
Well, the Wisconsin Badgers, of course, are a threat to win a national championship just about any year. They're ranked 3rd in the country right now.
They are, and they opened up at Louisville as part of the AVCA showcase last Tuesday. The first matches that went on. Kentucky played Nebraska, and Louisville played Wisconsin.
Was that the gathering where they used no side judges?
Exactly. They used a different review system, and kind of strange to see no line judges out. Professional leagues in the U.S. use that system, but super expensive, and hopefully Bolt 6 will continue to evolve, and we've already seen the improvement in the review with using Bolt 6 in the SEC.
Hester adds to her kill total. It's now a dozen.
Yeah, Hester's going to put up numbers, there's no question, but the LSU block really controlling Troy. They're still hitting negative for this set.
Jordan Sinis serving. Transfer from Auburn. Troy finally prevails after a long rally.
And that's the style that Troy wants to play. LSU wants to get out of the rally first. First ball kill, first ball side out, not extend a rally. Troy wants to battle you. Just keep the ball off the floor and keep attacking you until you air out or they find a kill.
Sinis serving nearly to the baseline. Robinson, dig by Mesa. And that appeared to be wide. It was. You know, there was a time, Fran, when Troy University could boast, and I don't know if this is still true, but they had international campuses all over the world. One of their taglines in marketing was "The sun never sets on Troy."
Oh, I've never heard that.
Because of the way they had multiple
different time zones,
campuses all across the world.
Would have hit the scoreboard.
Point LSU, and now the Tigers have a set point in the second set. In fact, they've got 6 set points.
The contribution in this match by Jade Demps is significant. If the LSU Tigers can get her on track, this season improves dramatically.
That is out, and LSU has rallied for a 25-18 second set victory. We go to the third set. Troy won the first one. The Tigers won the second one. Set number 3 coming your way next on the SEC ESPN Network. Troy captured the first set. LSU came back nicely to win the second one. We are set for set number 3. But we look in the rearview mirror to a special trip that the LSU Tigers took in early summer. They left Baton Rouge and went international.
Yeah, and then this was an incredible trip. They got to take all...
Your daughter, Lindsay, just finishing a 5-year career in Europe, retiring after 5 really nice campaigns in Germany.
Yeah, 4 years in Germany, 1 year in Switzerland, and just had a nice career, and time to be done, time to move on to the next phase.
It's great to see her in the building yesterday.
I believe that our trip that we went on when I was coaching and she was young actually opened the door for her to be empowered to say, I can do this one day. So hopefully somebody on this LSU team will have that same feeling and get to experience that as well.
Meanwhile, we return to the third set. LSU getting the first point. My goodness, what a dig. That's Derricott, who stood strong in the middle and to face that smash. She extends the rally, but LSU finishes it.
Yeah, that's a start of a match. That's a Troy type of rally, long rally, but LSU able to sustain, just continue to attack, and nice finish by Jones.
Jessica Jones now with 3 kills and 7 blocks.
I think that's a hitting error, rather a block. I'm not sure what the statistician will give her, but I think that was ball in the net tape.
3-0 Tigers to open the third set. They did give Jones the block on that, so that would make her with 8.
That's great. Absolutely. And we see Hester heating up a little bit. You know, she's just like Robinson. When the chips are down and her team's behind, she's going to be the go-to, and she's got another gear she can go into. We just saw that on the last swing. Nice middle back defense.
That's off of the defender, and the deflection falls in the court. 10 kills now for Journey Robinson.
It's a nice out-of-system swing. She stays high, patient, doesn't try to over-swing. Able to get the block on the way down. Nice dig by Kirchhoff.
Yeah, solid platform. Was that touched? No.
No.
A miss by Hester.
They're leaving Hester so far inside. She's having a hard time getting her feet to the ball. She's just literally running out of court to hit into. They need to get her pushed out to the pin, or she's got to cheat in a little bit, prepare a little differently from her approach start, and she'll have a little more opportunity.
14 kills for Hester, but not that time. That's a misplay on the back row, and the Tigers will take it. Leading 6-1, and Troy wants to call a brief halt to things. LSU and Troy in the third set. The Tigers leading 6-1. We are even at 1 set apiece, and we will continue on the SEC ESPN Network after this brief timeout.
We now return to our interview with the insurance.
Of course, on our SEC ESPN network. If it's being played, it's available. That missed.
It's the same situation. They're leaving that ball inside, and the LSU block is just taking up so much space. There's not enough court for them to score in.
That was Butler on the missed shot. Now she had 6 kills very early in the first set, but nothing since then.
She had 6 kills on 6 swings with no errors in the first set.
But not a thing since then.
And really hasn't gotten on track. Now 6 kills, 6 errors on 20 swings. You know, LSU's just done a good job of affecting her at the net and changing her offensive mentality a bit. See the assistant coach kind of giving her some instruction of what shots available.
Again, watch this ball toss by Tori Hester. A little bit long.
Ball toss might not have been high enough for her on that one.
You can catch it, right, and start over? No, once you're keyed to play. We saw a misfire yesterday, though, but
the serve hadn't been beckoned by the official yet.
So once it's beckoned, it's
if you toss,
whatever happens, happens.
Yep.
What about if you drop it?
Can't.
Okay.
Well,
LSU with the point.
it's a great job at Demps of getting her hands down and out of the way on the back court.
Had to make a quick decision. Turned herself into a question mark to avoid it.
Kirchhoff with a nice dig.
Oh, yeah. Demps back row off of the defender, point LSU. And kill number 9 for Jade Demps.
And Demps has almost exclusively been swinging cross-court into the seam or into the sharp angle, really scoring in zone 1 or zone 2. Looks like Troy was keying on elsewhere and not getting forehands in front of her very often.
Ace for Robinson. She had 6 of them yesterday. So let's do a little volleyball education, me included. Let's draw a mental picture of these zones you're talking about. Zone 1 through 6, right?
1 through 6, and it's the serving order. So in right back is zone 1, and right front is zone 2. In middle front, where the LS or U goes through, that's in front of the attack line, that's zone 3. Left front is zone 4. Left back is zone 5, and middle of the court is zone 6. And typically, you don't want to hit a lot of balls into the middle of the court offensively into zone 6. You want to attack zones 1 and 5, and you also typically see that with serving. Typically, coaches put their best serve receiver in zone 6 as much as they can so that they can take as much court in the middle as possible.
And zone 6 is
middle back.
Middle back.
Yep.
Closest to the baseline in the middle.
Closest to the middle. Yep. Yep. If you're looking at the LSU court, it's by the G and the E of Tigers. So that middle back right there through the middle of the court, and it's 15 feet by 15 feet.
All right, let me see if I've got this. Zone 1 is back right. Zone 2 is up near the net on the right
front,
side.
Right.
Zone 3 is middle front. Zone 4 is left side front. Zone 5, backside front, backside on the right.
Left.
Okay, gotcha. And then, of course, the only remaining one is in the middle back.
Right. So it's the serving order. That's the number. That's the first server will start in right back. The second server rotates back from right front. The third server from middle.
So it's like a tic-tac-toe board, except not as many squares.
Absolutely. You see an example of that serve receive. LSU trying to serve Hester, but Troy has the libero in middle back. She cuts the seam off and is able to take the pressure off of Hester.
And Olivia Kwiatkowski knew what to do with it. LSU still leading by 8. LSU has 100% of side outs. If you do that, you can't lose. It's mathematically impossible.
Yeah, you're controlling the match with your offense. And there it is again. LSU offense, it's a flip from the first set. Now LSU hitting .455, 5 kills, 0 errors on 11 swings. And Troy, 3 kills, 4 errors, 18 swings, hitting negative .056. Credit the LSU block with the issues Troy's having offensively.
We were just talking about LSU's effectiveness in side-outs. And I've heard you speak in the past about kind of a magic number, 60, 62, 63%.
Yeah, if you side out at 60% or above and score at 40% or above, you're going to win the match. You know, there's 100% available of each of those stats. So
it's mathematically impossible to lose if you reach those numbers.
If you reach those numbers, you're going to win the match. Have to be one above that, right? So you have to be 41 and 60 or 61 and 40 or some combination. And there are teams that side out really well and don't point score well. I think LSU is going to be a really good point-scoring team because what we're seeing them do today is really serve tough, and we've seen them serve really tough, and they're blocked. So serving and blocking go together in team defense, and when you're serving well, blocking becomes easy because you get the opponent out of system, and you know where the set's going to be attacked.
Ortega sneaks it in again. She saw the bullseye in the middle of the court and dropped it right in. Watch this.
Right into campfire defense, right in the middle.
That's the second time she's done it.
Yeah.
LSU by 10. This is the biggest lead either team has had today. That's a backcourt whack.
Really nice job, Journey hitting into the seam, a little bit too far into zone 1, but take it. Kill's a kill.
That's 11 unofficially.
Three hitters, watch eyes.
And a long serve. Gives a point to Troy. And we're going to have a new server for Troy. This is going to be Caroline Derricott.
Derricott's the normal back row sub, comes in, plays back row.
A senior from Noonan, Georgia, not far from Atlanta. Derricott makes the dig. Tigers get the point. LSU still at 100% inside out.
First ball kill often as well, and when you're able to first ball kill that many times, awfully hard to defend. Credit their first contact and Bailey Ortega running the offense, creating for hitters.
We don't see Lainey Piles serving all that often, but she's back there to do it now and drives it into the net.
Yeah, she's got a really good serve. Tessa Ross has been playing back row for her, and I think Piles is really an efficient server. I think that part of her game will continue to mature, and she'll get better and better through the season.
We're in the third set. The winner of this one takes a 2-1 lead. How about Lee? She had to extend and made a nice effort at it.
Again, Ortega with the save on that ball. That ball was passed tight. Bailey had to get up there, make the save, and was able to create it back to Angie.
And she stayed out of the net as well.
And when you set the ball back to your middle hitter, it makes it a little faster hand to ball for the hitter and more difficult to defend.
Both teams defending the dink nicely. No dink about that. Journey Robinson, a dozen kills.
When you have that to be able to finish, advantage LSU.
Just don't dink about it. Do it. LSU pulling away handily now in the third set. That's a gift point right into the wheelhouse of Jones.
And a really smart play. The Troy setter is back row, and if she contacts the ball above the height of the net, it's an automatic point for LSU. Jess Jones hits her with the ball. The play is dead at that point.
Nope. On the serve.
And service errors are mental errors at this point in the net. There's a difference between being assertive and serving long or wide or over the net, but when you're serving in the net, that's not an assertiveness.
Journey Robinson, too much strength, too much heat for Jordan Sines to handle.
And again, in this rotation, they're running her inside on a 2-ball up and down, maybe right behind the middle on a 3-2, 31, or a B2 combination, and overloading the middle blocker, and awfully difficult to handle Journey in that situation.
There's more of the same.
Now, Journey's presence offensively was felt yesterday over and over. Today, her presence blocking has been really, really imposed upon Troy.
Point LSU.
And we see the first time the double was called because it's a double contact and the ball did cross the net, so that makes it an illegal double contact. If it would have stayed on the Troy side, play would have continued.
Ortega sets it up. Robinson finishes again. Boy, it's like whack-a-mole for her right now.
Yeah, it's getting real easy for her right now. Ortega and her in a nice rhythm. She's a lot of trust.
There's her dad.
Yeah, mom and dad, they're in the stands, and they're just great parents and raised her well, and glad they're able to be here to witness her start of her sophomore year.
They are some of the most pleasant, friendly folks I've ever been around.
They really are great people.
LSU really on a long run here. 24-7, set point, and a lot to play with. Let's check those side-out numbers right now for LSU. They went really deep into the set at 100% side-out efficiency. Are they still there? They are still there.
They go through the entire set, and that's just absolutely...
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
25-8, 100% effectiveness on side-outs.
Yeah,
and LSU takes care of business rapidly in the third set. We'll come back in a moment. The Tigers have a lead with wins in the second and third sets. Let's expand our gaze and look a little bit nationally. Texas starts the season looking for its third consecutive national championship. That would be the first since 2009. The last three-peat was Penn State. They won it 4 straight times. Texas and Oklahoma. Oh, yes, sir. Outs, Fran. You don't see that every day.
You really don't. Incredible job passing and setting.
Let's update you on kills. Journey Robinson with 14. Jade Demps with 11 for the Tigers. And Tori Hester leads everybody with 15 for Troy. Tori Hester is the real deal.
Tori Hester is legit. She just needs a little help on this side, and you know, it's what we talked about earlier with Journey. Who was gonna go with Journey and score? And I tell you, Jade Demps, this is a breakout match for her. Really doing a great job offensively, blocking well, playing good defense, passing. Great match for Jade Demps.
You know, Hester is such a big scorer, but she doesn't necessarily have a size advantage. She's only 5'9", but very efficient, very smart, great volleyball IQ, great accuracy.
So she's super quick. She's got a great hand to ball, and she has great vision. So, and of course, she's dynamic. She plays pretty high for her size.
One apiece, fourth set. That's a little long.
And Coach Johnson bouncing back and forth between who's serving, between Hemmings and Kirchhoff, trying to find a rhythm, giving them both opportunities early. That's what you do. You try to give people an opportunity to earn their chance to stay in there and earn the spot.
They are the liberos, and they've alternated plenty of playing time today. Hemmings in right now. Robinson from the line misses it.
Yeah, not a great out-of-systems opportunity.
That's a very difficult shot.
Yeah, tough ball.
On the overpass, it laid it right in the wheelhouse for Troy at the net. Troy has come out ablazing.
Yeah, and they're attacking it. And, we had a few errors earlier from the service line. And Hester in a better rhythm and getting some pressure on LSU with that top spin serve.
Jones with the swing off the defender, point Tigers.
Yeah, nice job, Jessica Jonah, holding her arm, letting the ball cross her and hitting that ball back to zone 1. Holds, waits, lets it cross her back to zone 1. Really mature swing for a freshman.
She's working on a 6-kill, 9-block game right now.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Robinson is rejected.
And Troy has done the best job of any of the teams this weekend that LSU's played of staying home on Robinson and taking away that sharp angle shot to left front, zone 4 to zone 4. And their middle's just committing early and dropping her left hand, taking away Journey's favorite shot. A great grow-up shot match for Journey to have to hit a different shot.
Nice work on the other side by the Tigers.
Now, Ortega doing a good job of balancing the offense out, distributing the ball to multiple spots, trying to get the middles in the offense.
And Lainey Piles has re-entered the game on the front row for the Tigers. Number 11 in goal.
She's going to play the front row spots, and Tesdaraza is going to play the back row rotations for that position.
Robinson comes up short on the serve. The Tigers have fallen behind 6-3 in the 4th set.
Yeah, and they need to get going. Troy's dangerous as they're streaky. This is an up-and-down team, and they're going to be streaky, and when they're good, they can be really, really good if they get on track. We saw that in the first set.
Well, they like to play 100 miles an hour the whole time if they can.
They really do.
LSU took it away so effectively in the 3rd set, but that doesn't mean Troy is going to take its foot off the pedal. Blocks now. Watch this.
Yeah, Jess Jones is just big and physical. She stays home and commits.
The last time a player for LSU had 10 or more blocks was back in 2021. Whitney Foreman, you remember her?
Absolutely.
Against Sam Houston State.
Yeah, Whitney's a great blocker. Pretty amazing that Jones can come in as a freshman and hit those marks.
Meanwhile, the Tigers need to get some points. And there is one, cutting the lead to 2 for Troy.
You have to like the fact that Ortega is making them respect her and picking off a few points, and she's hitting a pretty high efficiency.
There she is, number 2 in gold. We had a chance briefly to talk to her after the matches yesterday, and she was accepting some congratulations in front of our broadcast area, and very calmly, without being braggadocious at all, she said, I can do better. She, you know, and that was a challenge to herself. I mean, she was appreciative of the adulation, but she said, you know, that's not my best. We can do better. I can do better. I like that attitude.
Yeah, no question. I think the thing that LSU coaching staff loves about her is her mental approach and her leadership. She has really, really enhanced this team with those qualities beyond her setting and shots or decision making and all of that. She's a really good team, cohesive player.
She is a graduate transfer from Davenport, Iowa, who played her previous career at Iowa.
Taking advantage of one of the last few with the COVID year.
So we'll take a timeout right now. Troy has come out and taken a 9-5 lead in the fourth set. LSU leads 2-1.
Jersey Mike's. Progressive and renters insurance, like their home insurance.
Then we could buy our cars and get the same 24/7 protection.
Advantage in sets. 15 blocks today for LSU, and 10 of those coming from Jessica Jones. She has been a force at the net.
She really has. You know, we talked a lot about Angie Lee, but the freshman Jess Jones has come in and just absolutely been dominant at the net. Lee's getting her share, but I tell you what, the momentum switching plays have been made by Jess Jones.
She's got that freshman exuberance, doesn't she?
She's just a joy, is what the coaching staff says. A joy to coach.
Point LSU. The Tigers need more of it. This Troy is a dangerous and opportunistic team.
And Lainey Piles gets a high hands touch. It's fortunate. That ball was going to sail on her.
LSU gives it right back. Piles missing into the net. That's like a golf putt, and you just don't get it to the hole. You got no chance. If you don't get it over the net, you have no chance.
You have to be a little more assertive, and that's a freshman back there. Coach Johnson giving her a chance to drive the ball. She's a very good server. Absolutely very good server. Just got to trust it. Step back there. Third match of the weekend is tough for these young players, though.
LSU has 14 service errors this afternoon. That's more than necessary.
Yeah, it really is. Demps with another kill, just having a great match for the Tigers.
That's number 12 for her. LSU trying to close the gap, trailing by 3. And won't do it on that opportunity. 11-7 now, Troy.
Well, Hester getting a little better rhythm. She made a nice run last time she was behind the service line. See if she can give herself room on the toss.
Fran, from what I see out of the Trojans over the last couple of days, this is a team that is set up pretty nicely to duplicate the success it had last year, winning 12 matches, losing only 4 against Sun Belt Conference competition. Troy certainly is going to be a factor in that league.
Yeah, I think they're very good. And, you know, there are a lot of teams in that league that are outstanding teams and play a great style of volleyball. And the factor will be who shows up on the right day. And you have players like Hester, good things can happen for you.
Yeah. LSU down by 4 now.
Good news is Jess Jones is on the front row. See if she can affect play.
Demps serving. Demps digging. Ortega couldn't shove it over that time. And Troy comes away with a point. Kirchhoff unable to handle it near the sideline.
That's a good shot. Good shot by Troy.
13-8. Troy certainly not putting the tent back in the duffel bag here in the fourth set. Journey Robinson missing.
And this has been such an interesting match in terms of ebbs and flows of offense. You know, we've had one team be really good offensively and the other one not in each set. And this set, Troy's hitting 357, LSU hitting 105.
I believe this is the biggest lead for Troy in the match. It is. It's cut to 5 now. 14-9, Troy still leading.
And who else comes through? Then the freshman, Jess Jones on a slide attack to get LSU back in the positive. Important kill, and here comes Lainey Piles. Let's see if she can affect play and score a few points in her 3 rotations.
Jones is a kill away from a double-double. She's got 9 kills and 10 blocks.
And that's not a typical double-double. You typically have kills and digs, but blocks, and that's a huge effort to have double-digit blocks.
Meanwhile, Troy is dead set on taking this to 5 sets.
And you can feel them growing with confidence on the Troy side.
Well, they were obliterated in the 3rd set. They only scored 8 points.
And it didn't bother them.
Not at all. Kirchhoff with a really nice dig. Troy just keeps on hammering. Excuse me, that was Hemmings on that last dig.
Yeah, Hemmings doing a good job, but LSU not able to convert. Troy able to come through, get a better contact, finish the play.
And LSU is going to take a timeout as Troy has just come out on fire here in the 4th set, playing with a lot of energy, a lot of confidence, shaking off a really bad performance in the 3rd set. But Troy has been the much better team against LSU in set number 4.
But much of it was what LSU did right in the last set and not what Troy didn't. LSU was just incredible. So efficient, so effective, and Troy didn't let that bother him. They just said, hey, that's one, it doesn't matter, let's get rid of that and start over. And, you know, that's the mark of a veteran team and a veteran coaching staff to handle that situation.
We've got volleyball coverage all over the place. Let's take a look at some SEC Network volleyball upcoming matches. You've got UCLA and Tennessee. You've got Buffalo and Florida. You've got Indiana and number 1 Texas, the newcomer to the SEC. You've got Alabama and Tennessee. You've got Penn State and Kentucky. Oh, that's a good one. And you've got Georgia and Arkansas, 2 nationally ranked teams. That's what's upcoming on the SEC. You Troy fans will have an opportunity to take the very short drive to Auburn and meet the Auburn Tigers in Neville Arena on Tuesday night. About 45 minutes away, I think. No, about an hour and 15.
Nice drive, nice in-state rivalry, I'm sure.
How about this reversal? In the last set, as we've talked about, LSU was 9 for 9 in side-out opportunities. Guess who's 10 for 10 in this set? Can you believe it?
That's amazing.
I mean, Troy is 10 for 10 in side-out opportunities, eclipsing LSU's 9 for 9 in the previous set.
Yeah,
this may never happen again.
It may not. LSU's got to get more pressure on them serving. Can't allow them to pass every ball perfectly to the target, because if the ball is to the target, the offense is going to have the advantage against any defense, and we see it once again. A perfect pass and a scoring opportunity for Troy.
Now it's 11 for 11 in side-out opportunities. There's a much-needed point for LSU, but the Tigers still trail by 6 as we approach the late stages of the 4th set. Fran, I have never seen numbers like that where one team was 10 for 10 and then the inside outs, and then the next team, the other team, is 11 for 11 in the next set. Have you ever seen anything like that?
I can't say I have, but I wouldn't say it's never been done, but not probable.
It's not common, that's for sure.
No, for sure.
18-11 Trojans. They have played with high energy and very good effectiveness at the Trojans. The Tigers have taken a step back in this fourth set. Everything is going right for Troy right now.
It is a role reversal. Their side-out percentage is the same, and now late in the set, their blocking starting to affect the LSU offense. So it's absolutely a flip of the script to the other side of the net.
A.C. Freilich has entered the match, the 6'1" sophomore from Lafayette, out of St. Thomas More High School. LSU only has one block in this set against 4 for Troy. Robinson digging. Freilich dinking.
Great defense by Troy.
And LSU finally prevails. A long and entertaining rally.
Yeah, that's a great rally. Troy did a great job of getting some great swings, but LSU defense, again, once again, the blocking of LSU, too physical for the Troy offense.
And Freilich will serve it. Point Troy. And that's the 20th against 12 for LSU. She just continues to do it. She being Tori Hester, 16 kills. Make it 17 officially. Robinson off of the blocker.
And that's a good change by Robinson. Rather than challenging the middle blocker, she challenged the outside blocker and forced her not to be over, a little too quick, able to tool the block out of bounds.
If we go to 5 sets today, it would be the second time in 3 matches that LSU gets to the 5th set. Ortega could not keep that ball in play and sent it backwards. And now Troy is only 4 points away from a stunning reversal in the 4th set. Give these Trojans a lot of credit. They came out with some fire, with some zeal.
Yeah, they're just unfazed. They're just going to keep playing and do their thing, and it's feast or famine. They're just going to go for it. Why not?
They are not expected to win this match. But they're on the verge of taking it to 5 sets. Dimps now will serve.
And they're a dangerous team in the 5th set if they get going, so.
LSU has had twice as many service errors.
On
and
cue.
There's another miss.
On cue.
15 service errors for LSU.
And that's fatigue. They're a good serving team, but when they lose a little bit on their jump or a little fatigue in their arm, haven't been in that scenario enough to manage it. They'll get better and better as the season goes on.
Troy returns the favor.
A.C. Freilich back.
Josh Lohr looking on. Season number 8 for him at Troy.
Freilich has been practicing and playing mostly on the right side, but inserted on the left side today. See if she can add some offense in that position.
Freilich dumps it successfully.
It's a really good job of Freilich coming off the bench and not trying to do too much.
That is the first point on an LSU serve this match, this set. First time LSU has scored when it's served in this set.
Wow.
And now another misfire from the service line. 16 misses while serving.
Yeah, and too many in a row. Person before you misses, you really have got to keep the next ball in play. Can't give up 2 rotations and certainly not 3 in a row. Great dig by Robinson. And Hester.
From the back row, right down the middle. Boy, she's good.
Yeah, and the setter did a great job of just being patient, finding the time she could get her the ball. They fought on defense. Great swing into the seam.
Set point, Troy. And there it is. Freilich sends one long. And Troy has come back with a vengeance after scoring only 8 points in the third set. Troy allows only 16 to LSU in the fourth set. And we are going to a 5th set in Baton Rouge in the final volleyball action of this tournament. 2 sets for Troy, 2 sets for the Tigers. The 5th set straight ahead on the SEC ESPN network. Afternoon, and then in the next 2 sets, LSU outscored Troy 50-26 and appeared to be in great shape to take care of business in the 4th set. Troy said, it's not going to be that easy. And they win at 25-16. And look at these numbers, Fran.
Yeah, it's crazy. This match has been up and down. It's a roller coaster ride for both sides. And, you know, the bottom line is it's a race to 15 in the 5th. Just throw all of this out, and who can execute at the highest level for long enough to end up with a victory at the end. But these numbers are crazy. For Troy to be at 414 and then 345, but in between hit negative. What great resiliency and great patience by the coaching staff, not getting frustrated. Trust and believe in your team and let them keep playing, and they've earned their chance to be in the 5th.
And the Tigers were out of sight in the 3rd set, hitting at 667. And also, as we've talked about, LSU went perfect in the 3rd set, 9 for 9 inside outs. Well, Troy was nearly perfect in the 4th set, 16 of 17.
Yeah, and sometimes you can be too good. And when you're too good, you get too comfortable. And then you don't stay focused and take care of business. And that's been the case for these 2 teams back and forth.
By the way, the last set was the least productive for LSU over the course of this weekend. It's the fewest points they've had so far, and now we're locked up at 1 each.
And again, the Troy challenging the outside block, not challenging Jess Jones in the middle. It's not the one you go after if you're Troy. She's done a tremendous job blocking.
LSU got a break there. Back row attack. It's rejected in the middle. Stuffed by Sydney Austin, who is the tallest player at 6'3" on this Troy roster.
Yeah, and I think the choice of who she set in that scenario, Coach Johnson would like her to throw that ball out to Journey Robinson.
Austin with 7 blocks now. Robinson comes right back. Each point is critical. Every decision, every pass, every dig, every set, every swing is critical in the 5th set.
Yeah, and this is going to be a back-and-forth battle. You've already, in the first 4 points of it, you know it's going to be tight.
Good work from the left sideline by Butler. Now, she was so good in the first set and then really has been taken out of the game offensively, but that's a big swing and an important point to give Troy a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, 6 kills in the first set and only in the 5th set at 9 total. So LSU really slowed her down, but she's shown she can be effective. And Robinson just absolutely hitting people.
She knocked Mesa off her feet on the sideline on that left to right shot.
And it won't bother Mesa at all. She'll come right back and pass this ball to the target, take as much court as possible.
That's like picking off a 10-pin. Good serve. Robinson with the dig. Freilich with the dink. Troy kept it alive. What an effort defensively by Troy's Sinis. But the Tigers come back and regain the lead 4-3.
Yeah, and Freilich is being safe, trying to see a spot she can throw the ball over.
She hasn't played much this afternoon, but she's been effective. Jones does have that double-double, 11 kills and 10 blocks now.
That's amazing.
LSU promptly gives one right back, 4 apiece. That's got to bring the Tums out on both benches when you continue to throw throw errors.
Yeah. Team that plays the cleanest will win this 5th set.
This would be a tremendous lift for Troy, beating LSU out of the SEC. And that is a little bit long.
And that's the right choice. Hester had the right opportunity, just missed it. LSU a little bit fortunate.
Five-4 Tigers. First to 15 by 2 in the 5th set will claim this topsy-turvy match. When LSU has been good in this match, it's been really good. The same for Troy. When they've been bad, they've been both really bad.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster. And, you know, the team that can sustain they don't have to be great. And we've seen some great tonight. Some unbelievably high-level play. And then we've seen some not-so-great play, which, of course, you expect early in the year. But the team that can stabilize and play just consistent through and control their side, reduce their errors, is the team that will come away with the victory here.
The lead is 1 for LSU. Nuss serving. The lead is none for either side right now. 5 apiece. Again, good work at the net by Troy.
And Butler turning it on as she was in the first set.
She's going to go to the bench momentarily.
And she'll be back on the front row at the key point of this match in terms of the scoreboard.
There she is, getting a little bit of hydration. Now Maya Butler. Freilich. Terrific work defensively by Mesa. Tigers keep it alive.
Great fight. Angie Lee makes a great play out of the net.
And that's blocked out. So, point Troy.
And this is interesting. Freilich typically a right side, blocking on the left side. Hand position's a little bit different. Block timing's a little bit different.
That's hammer time on a perfect set to Angie Lee.
The LSU middles have done their job tonight. There's no question. They have been a presence offensively. They have been a presence blocking. They've made great, crazy little turnaround plays. They've done their job.
6 each. Ortega serving. We're in the 5th set. Let's just watch and enjoy. And Troy on cue, able to put that one down.
LSU needs to get to the rotation where Robinson is on the front row, or they need to use her in the back row.
She's on the back row now. Troy gives it right back on the service error by Kwiatkowski. Seven each as the drama continues to build. And the nerves continue to jangle.
And Freilich, a good server. Coach Johnson trusted her behind the line.
And she misses long. It floated over the baseline. Eight, 7, Troy on the service error, the 18th of the match for LSU. That's an excessive number. We'll come back in a moment as we finish it out in the 5th set.
Hey, Flo. Cool leg warmers.
Thanks. They're just for the bus ride to work. They're not part of the official uniform.
No tunes today?
No. My apartment was robbed last night. Took my cable-ready TV, VCR, portable cassette player.
Yep, all the latest tech.
If only Progressive had renter's insurance, like their home insurance.
Then we could bundle our cars and get the same 24/7 protection. I think we just invented that. This is the best day ever.
And she misses.
Gutsy for Testorazda to let that ball go. But,
indeed.
Hey, she was pretty sure.
Troy has not nearly had as many problems serving as LSU has today, but that's a critical miss to tie the score at 8. Defense takes it away.
And guess who that was? Jess Jones.
Tori Hester winding up and then seeing it come back in her face. Wow. What a big block.
Jess Jones just absolutely owning the net.
Ortega diving to keep it in play. And that's a point for Troy. Demps couldn't quite get to it. Well executed on the dink.
Really smart shot. Saw the availability. This is a good rotation for Troy. We talked about Butler being back into the rotation on the front row at the key point. And here she is.
That's how you like to play it out, right?
Robinson's in the front row for LSU, so this is a huge matchup.
That overpass, but Troy cannot take advantage. What a break for LSU.
Yep, little hesitation, uncertainty, wasn't sure if she should take the swing, and the ball out of bounds.
Point Troy, a problem somewhere.
Ortega was in the net blocking. So another unforced error, point for Troy. Unfortunate.
10 each. And Tori Hester, who can really hammer serves.
Ortega's right arm.
Hester with that high toss. Very hard sinking serve. Robinson. Point Troy.
And there's Butler-Robinson matchup.
LSU went where it wanted to. It went with its best scorer.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they run Robinson inside in this rotation. They've had success doing that.
Butler with the rejection. 11-10 Troy. Another high toss serve. An ace. Hester's service, when she is accurate, is really, really, really good.
Yeah, and she rips it, just snaps it off. It dives at the end, finishes.
That is the first ace of the match for Troy.
And, you know, you credit the ball control of LSU. They've done a great job of passing and getting at least a swing when the ball's over. Can't side out at 100% through a set without having great passing. And we've seen that on both sides. That's a great sign for the LSU team that they can handle these servers and stay in system for as long as they have, and as long as they have in the third match of the weekend when they're as tired as they possibly can be.
Troy hitting 178 in this fifth set. LSU at 262. LSU has 7 more kills than Troy on the afternoon, but none of that matters right now. The scoreboard matters. Troy 12, LSU 10 in the fifth set.
And the question is, you know, does the young LSU team play to the scoreboard or they play to execute? Troy just plays to execute. They're not real worried about the score. Of course they want to win, but they're going to execute every play and just take care of the ball. And what play presents itself, I'll execute and see what opportunities I have and try to finish.
Troy will be serving, and once again it's Hester.
And we'll see if the timeout ices her a little bit. Sometimes coming out of a timeout, jump servers have trouble controlling the ball in the court.
And she dumps it into the net. What a big point for LSU. But Troy still leads by 1 en route to 15 in the fifth set. Robinson now serving. She floats it. Point Tigers. It almost seemed as if Troy gave up on that, and we've got some discussion on the sideline.
He can challenge whether the ball was down, and he does have a challenge because we're in the fifth set, but the line judge motioned down, which caused the Troy players to hesitate. It's a difficult call. The official has to blow the whistle. You play to the whistle.
And clearly the finishing shot was in, but that's not what's going to be contested.
No, they're contesting whether Demps got her hands under the ball of that first attack from the right side, and sure looked like from our vantage point that
the original call on the court is that the ball was up on a pancake. Troy is challenging that the ball was down.
All right, I love that explanation. I love the fact that the officials are going to the microphone and explaining things. Now, they didn't hear that over the PA system in the stadium.
Oh.
I think it's down.
That's not a good sign for LSU on that replay.
I think that angle shows the ball made contact with the court.
And what we also thought earlier that the ball was
You're right.
Troy hit the ball down. The ball was in. It is Troy's point.
So it didn't take them long. That was a pretty conclusive replay.
Pretty easy ball to see. It's a big point, big play.
Great effort by LSU defensively, but
yeah,
the ball did make contact with the court.
The ball beat him to the floor.
Don't you like the composure of both of these coaches? Both of them.
Yeah,
they're calm, they're thoughtful, they don't carp unnecessarily. They encourage their teams.
Yeah.
Right now, Troy has a 2-point lead and serving for more.
And you would expect Butler to get the ball. It's a difficult rotation for LSU. Jones is going to have to be involved in the offense, or Ortega's going to have to steal one here.
Sarah Bates serving. Blocked by the Tigers. A critical point. LSU needs more.
And Jones again you cannot give Jess Jones enough credit for the match she's played.
I believe that's her 12th block.
Unbelievable.
It is 12 officially. This is one of the biggest points of the match right here. LSU trailing 13-12. That was Nuss handling that shot from Hester.
Transition opportunity for LSU.
The dink doesn't work. Hester dinks it and gets it in. Hester from the back row, and I believe that was a left-handed poke.
Yeah, she just tried to keep the ball in play, and unfortunately, LSU campfire defense not able to come get it.
Let's see. Nope, that's a right-handed push shot, but she dropped it home on target. And now Troy is 1 point away from upsetting the LSU Tigers in Baton Rouge after LSU had taken a commanding 2-1 lead and playing so brilliantly in that third set. Not yet. Angie Lee.
That ball had to go to Angie Lee to have a chance to kill the ball. They're just not in a great rotation.
Set point again for Troy. And we'll have a timeout. And people are shoveling Tums into their bellies by the spoonful.
Well, these are the moments that, you know, the opportunity that LSU was overseas and got to play together and did this stuff. These are the moments that you hope that continuity will show itself. There's no guarantee, but they've played enough matches together that these opportunities present themselves. Hopefully they're able to execute and come back and finish this.
It'll be a disappointing loss if LSU suffers one, but let's give credit to Troy no matter what the outcome. This team has been gritty. This team has played as hard as it can. It's had some bad moments. It's had some really good moments, and this is one of them. They're on the cusp of an upset victory over LSU.
Yeah, Troy's a really good team, and I know we kind of state that it's an upset victory, but they have a veteran team against a bunch of young players, and they know how to win. And you know, I just think this is just a gritty early season match. Both teams are going to learn a lot from this match and grow a lot from this match, and you know, the outcome will drive both in the right direction.
LSU will be serving, trailing 14-13. If Troy gets the point, Troy wins the match. If LSU gets the point, we extend it. We will let the picture tell the story and the reaction on the court.
Bailey Ortega will probably serve the ball to Tori Hester. It's my guess.
Ortega at the service line.
Or the coaching staff may just say, serve your best serve. Yep, to Hester.
Hester, no. LSU on the kill by Freilich. Left to right, cross court, 14 apiece.
I tell you, that is a huge play by A.C. Freilich. Unbelievable. Has tipped and rolled and not really played with the confidence offensively that you would hope. And then in the biggest moment, takes the biggest swing.
Ortega again. That's Hester, and she knocks two people down with that shot.
She wasn't going to be denied on that one.
So back we go. Hester a double-double, 21 kills, 10 digs,
and
3
again,
blocks, and an ace.
This is just a tough rotation for LSU. Rotation 1, most difficult, least effective offensive rotation of the weekend for them.
So we're back to where we were a moment ago. A point wins it for Troy.
Yeah, and Hester's front row. So we'll see if LSU can figure out a first ball killed. And they do.
Dimps from Ortega.
And that's their go-to. Dimps on the 2-ball in the middle.
Remember, this is only a short set, but we've had 11 ties with 5 lead changes. We're 15 apiece. And it's Freilich again with the ball in her hands, this time at the service line.
And great serve.
Hester off of the defender. This will have to clear. Robinson smashes it. Oh, what a full swing by Robinson. That is an amazing shot.
Now
absolutely amazing.
That's a huge swing. Great defense by Freilich. Ortega giving her a swing. Really good job.
Watch this.
Gritty, gritty, gritty.
Hanging in the air. That full 360-degree swing with accuracy and with velocity. That's really an acrobatic and athletic swing.
Yeah, and she went for it. And, you know, there are a lot of players that hold back and won't really go for it in the key moments, but the LSU side has confidence in their abilities. You saw H.C. Freilich have the biggest swing that she's had all match in the biggest opportunity she had. And here we are, Robinson doing the same thing.
Robinson with a double-double, 19 kills, 10 digs, 3 blocks, 1 ace. Hester with a double-double, 21 kills, 10 digs, 3 blocks, and an ace. 2 really, really fine players.
Absolutely.
Wow. Jones also with a double-double. Let's not forget her contribution. 11 kills and 12 blocks.
We talked about who was going to go with Journey to put some points on the board, and my goodness, there's a group that showed up today.
And Dimps has had a steady game with 13 kills herself.
Yeah. Plenty of point scoring on the LSU side. It's nice to see. Nice to see.
The crowd on its feet. A point wins it for LSU. A point extends it for Troy. Freilich serving for the match.
No question this ball's going to Hester.
And Hester is able to get it done.
And LSU serves Hester. Gets the pressure on her, and she wants that touch. She wants the ball every opportunity.
She's going to get it too.
And well, if she doesn't, I think Coach Lauer will be upset with his setter.
13 ties now, the latest at 16.
Great pass.
Thrown down by Angie Lee. The youngster in a critical time. Are we going to have a challenge?
No, can't have a challenge.
Are they saying?
They're saying it's a throw. We talked about it earlier. The heavy hand on the ball. They're trying to take the throw, the hard throw out of the game. And that's a key time to be put in that position.
I don't think that's a throw, though, and I do understand. Do you think it might have been?
I couldn't see it, actually. So it was pretty heavy, and Coach Lauer's pretty upset about it. That's a key time.
I thought that ball came off her hand. I thought it came off her hand quickly enough.
Yeah, and it's a judgment call by the official.
Very much so.
Hester's going to get this ball again.
Match point, Tigers. Hester pushes it.
I really can't believe.
Hester, yes. Oh, is she good?
Wow. Ortega tried to use Jones in the middle rather than going to Robinson on the outside in transition.
17 all as we play on.
Hester fights through it.
Demps. Ortega will set it. Demps rejected. Defense rises and claims a point for Troy, and now it's Troy again with a match point. Hester.
Absolutely.
What a remarkable all-around performance by this senior Tori Hester. For the match. It sails long. Wow. What a critical mistake.
Wow. Wow. What a great match for both teams.
18 each. That does not crawl for Demps. The teams trade service errors.
Yeah, both teams a little bit tight behind the line.
That was the first service error in this set for LSU, and Troy has had 4 of them.
Wow. So LSU's played clean enough to win, but Troy has the chance to finish here.
They've got a 19-18 lead.
Hester with her jump top caused trouble last time in the seam.
Robinson. Oh, yes, off of Hester in the back row. Journey Robinson with 20 kills. Whack-a-mole again for Robinson.
Hester's at 22 kills, Robinson at 20.
16 ties in this 5th set, which has produced 38 points. Kralik. Twice from there, she has scored points.
Yeah, Fralick, great out-of-system swing, finds the high hands.
And that's her 3rd kill.
Yeah, and in key spots.
For the victory.
Gutsy performance.
For the win. Demps could not get the deflection, and what a swing by Kwiatkowski.
Now that's a big-time swing for Kwiatkowski because she has not been successful in that rotation, and that is a key play for the Troy side.
20 apiece.
We might be playing at 25 again, Len.
Or more.
Great pass.
There's the sneak shot from the middle, and it works for Troy.
Now, I thought Ortega might try to steal one of those earlier, about 13.
Watch Broadhead here.
Everybody's focused on the attackers. Really good timing to pull that out.
I don't know if that was Broadhead, actually. Have to go back and look. Once again, we are tied at 21.
And once again, it's Jess Jones that gets them out of the most difficult rotations.
That was Stumfig on that last little tricky shot. Is that out? Yes. Once again, LSU with a chance to win it. Back and forth we go. Teeter and then totter. High tide, low tide, black and white, day and night. In or out? In.
That ball's in.
And that's Hester. And my goodness, we have seen a show. 19 ties with 44 points put on the board in the 5th set between these teams.
This is just a great, fun, gritty 5th set.
Back row. Robinson defended by Hester. That is blocked out. Point Troy, and now the Trojans are a point away.
And that's a great transition swing into the smaller blocker on the right side. Ortega not able to hold, gets tooled out of bounds.
23-22, Troy for the win. An overpass.
Guess who gets this ball?
Hester's on the back row.
AC Freilich again.
Boy, Freilich has been clutch with a capital C.
Absolutely. Freilich has been the hero of the fifth set so far. She finishes off for the Tigers.
It's not so much the number she has, it's when she's done it without error.
The situation she's in.
23 each. What's this, the 20th tie? Yes. Troy will have the opportunity yet again. (24-23) Troy will let the picture tell the story. The Trojans have won it. They rushed the court. They've come from a 2-1 deficit, and they have won it in spectacular, exciting, scintillating fashion. 20 ties, 11 lead changes, and Troy takes the win in an extended overtime. The first win against an SEC opponent since 2021. They had lost 6 in a row against SEC opponents. And they came from way back after being blown out of the gym in the third set. They scored only 8 points, and LSU seemingly was perfect at that point. Not so much, said Troy, as they, in very gritty fashion, win set number 4 and 5. And Fran, we saw some magical stuff today.
I tell you, what a great match.